Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball chat.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to BCN Sports watch along of English Premier League action between Arsenal and Fulham. My name is Benton, man in the ship today. Junior is out and about. Big up yourself, Junior. Hopefully having a wonderful Saturday. Hopefully everyone on the live is having a wonderful Saturday or Sunday morning, wherever you're joining me from. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. All right, so what's at stake? English Premier League title race running in. Important game here for Arsenal. And also an important game for Fulham as they are looking to try to get a space in the in the Europa Conference League or just European football. Period. Point blank. All right, let's get to the starting 11. And again, big up to those on the live. Big up to those smash the like button. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Saturday. The game is at the Emirates. It's on Peacock or P-Fold as they call it. All right, let's get to the starting 11 for both of these teams. First and foremost, we're going to start with the visitors and coach Marco Silva. Marco Silva is out of contract at the end of the season. So Marco Silva looking to demonstrate that, and I think he's a proper coach. Bern Leno is in goal. Calvin Bassey and Anderson in the centre-back pairing. Is a centre-back pairing for Fulham. Robinson, the American international, on the left back. The high-tempo, up-tempo Robinson. Castagna out in the right-back position. Hard-working Lukic and Harrison Reed in the midfield, at the base of the midfield. Samuel Chukwueze, Nigerian, the Super Eagle himself, out in the left-wing position. Emil Smith-Rowe in the number 10. Harry Wilson in the right wing. And of course, the Mexican, the goal scorer, Raul Jimenez, leads the line for Fulham. Important game for Fulham. Can they get a point or can they get something out of this game? It's all up to Arsenal, basically, the way I look at it. Can Fulham get something from this game? It's all up to Arsenal. That's the way I look at it. But, this is a game Arsenal, of course, played in the Champions League semi-final in the middle of the week. So, ultimately, there will be a little bit of carryover from that game against Atletico Madrid. And, the starting 11 for coach Mikel Arteta probably reflects thinking behind the semi-final game, the second leg coming up, preparing for that semi-final game against Atletico Madrid. Second leg coming up this Tuesday. All right, let's get to the Arsenal's starting 11. Mikel Arteta is going Raya in goal. In the centre-back pair, the usual suspect, Gabriel and Saliba sits in that centre-back pair. And Ben White in the right-back position. Calafiori comes in back at left-back. And Lewis Skelly and Declan Rice in midfield. So Zubimende is not there. Eberechi Eze in the 10, of course, no Martin Odegaard in the starting 11. Starboy Saka in the right wing position. Leandro Trossard gets the start in left wing. And Gyökeres leads the line for Mikel Arteta on Arsenal. So that's the starting 11 for both of these teams. Arsenal is in a huddle. Of course, did a watch along last weekend for the game against Newcastle. It was a nervy game for Newcastle. It was a nervy game for the Gunners last weekend against Newcastle. Let's see what happens this weekend as, Martin Odegaard had to try to encourage the fans to give them a lift last weekend. So, winning titles is not easy. And, Arsenal will be under it today again. Let's see. Getting ready for kickoff here in a few minutes. The Gunners fans are in full voice, so that's good to see. Arsenal in red and white and Fulham in the usual white, Let's get ready for kickoff. Fulham is kicking from right to left and we're off. Game is on P-Fold. Fulham sends it long, cleared out by Saliba. By the way, big up Kevin Bassey with a strong header. Castagna then clears it further upfield. The ball is finding Castagna a lot in this right back position. Leandro Trossard settled it, and we have a free kick here for Fulham. Well, no, referee has stopped play. I thought it was a free kick. Didn't call a foul there, and Harrison Reed, Fulham's captain, is down in the early knock. Last minute watch along, family. Big up to those on the live. Big up to those on the live. Make sure to smash the like button. 38 Premier League meetings between these two teams. It's heavily dominated by Arsenal. 25 wins for Arsenal, 4 victories for Fulham. All right, so drop ball, restart play here. And now the ball is with Arsenal. All the way back to Saliba. Saliba finds Ben White in the right back position. White finds Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly's bundled over there by Harrison Reed, and a free kick to Arsenal. It's pouring down rain in London. Arsenal Emirates Stadium. Here is Saliba out wide on the left side. Declan Rice dropping between the centre back pairing. Picks the ball up, finds Skelly. Skelly back to White. White to Rice. Saliba. Arsenal playing around in the back. Fulham applying a bit of pressure, trying to find Eberechi Eze. Couldn't get it under control, and now it's recovered by Fulham. Ball given away by Robinson. Here is Arsenal. Lewis Skelly with it inside, trying to find the run of Calaferi there. Trossard picks up the loose ball inside the 18-yard box. A shot across the goal from Leandro Trossard, and it's out for a goal kick. Early one, and I think for Arsenal is, important thing is to try to get a goal early and calm the nerves, and that will make it a lot easier throughout the remainder of this game. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Saturday wherever you are joining me from. Again, this is BCN Sports, watch along of English Premier League action. My name is Benton, part of the BCN Sports family. Big up to Junior, big up to Camon, out and about, other members of the BCN Sports family. Calaferi trying to find Eze. Lukic picks it off. Now finds Robinson. Robinson looking to find the fleet-footed Samuel Chukwueze. He turns it over. Ball is back with Lukic. Arsenal applying a bit of pressure to recover it. Here is Chukwueze. Finds Robinson. Robinson back to Chukwueze. Chukwueze in his own half. Sends it back all the way to Anderson. Anderson pushes the Cottagers up. And now he sends it long, looking for Samuel Chukwueze out left. Finds easily taken down by Chukwueze. Now going at Ben White. He dismisses White. Chukwueze sends it in, and it's clears out by Declan Rice. Throw in to Fulham. Looking forward to see Samuel Chukwueze, a player I feel is a very good player, but is it inconsistent? Is it fair to say he's inconsistent? I felt like here is Samuel Emil Smith Rowe, almost behind the Arsenal defense here with a cross, but cleared out by the Gunners. Ball is all the way back with Calvin Bassey in defense for Fulham. Chukwueze turns it over. Fulham giving the ball away there, but Eze gives it back and Fulham comes away with it. Robinson now with it for Fulham. Sends it back to Lukic. Lukic. Bassey high up the field there. Smith Rowe. Strong tackling there from who's that? From Skelly. Or was it Rice? Well, should be able to differentiate between Skelly and Rice. Ball is all the way back with Bernd Leno in goal for Fulham. Remember to smash the like button. It's important to get this content into the hands of others. If you think the content good enough, smash the like button, man. I'm telling you. Here comes Lewis Skelly in midfield. Sends it wide to Starboy Saka out right. Saka has Robinson for company. Cuts in on the left. Now he turns it back to White. White can't get it. Now it goes to Saliba. Saliba now finds White. White back to Saliba. Arsenal retreats into its own half. Finds Gabriel. Gabriel now back to Saliba in his own half. White. Fulham applying a bit of pressure. Arsenal sends it all the way back to goalkeeper Raya. Raya control, sends it out wide to Gabriel. It seems like Gabriel assuming a left back position as Calaferi is getting pushed up the field. And Calaferi then turns it back to Gabriel, who goes back to Raya. Raya in goal in his own 18-yard box. Kind of walking outside the 18-yard. Now he rolls it to Declan Rice, who shows. Rice sends it wide to Gabriel. Gabriel on his left. Finds Lewis Scaly. Picks up a pocket of space. Scaly finds Gyökeres. Gyökeres turns it wide to Ben White. Ben White sends it wide to star boy Saka, who cuts inside of Robinson. Robinson very busy there with Saka. Saka now goes inside, finds Trossard. Trossard finds Scaly. Scaly finds Rice. Rice overlapped man to White. White turns it back to Saliba as Fulham defensive line shuffling from right to left, trying to find Gyökeres. Gyökeres flicks it off to Calaferi. Calaferi inside the 18-yard box, looking for Eze, and Calaferi was in an offside position. And referee finally now calling the offside. Yeah, so one of the things that stood out early is that Calaferi has been pushed high up the field. Pushed extremely high up the field. We're seeing the Arsenal bench here. Martin Odegaard and others. Here's Leno with it. Sends it wide to Calvin Bassey. Bassey is trying to send it long, and it's blocked off by Saka. And it's out for a throw to Fulham. Bassey calling his teammates, telling them they should come for the football. So, no Zubimendi. He's on the bench. Chukwueze with it, sends it back. Let me make sure. Here's Chukwueze. I need to check something real quickly, but here's Gyökeres. I'll check it afterwards. Out wide to Trossard. Trying to get it in, but Castagna is right there. He turns it back. Lewis Scaly, seen a lot of the ball here early, is young Lewis Scaly. He's asked for it, got it back from Gabriel. Lewis Scaly trying to go around one, and he's cut down by Harrison Reed. Free kick to Arsenal inside Fulham's half. Harrison Reed talking to his teammates, trying to set them up there as they're getting ready to defend this free kick. Game is on Peacock. Declan Rice is standing over it 8 minutes into the football game. Fulham's defensive line is right on top of the 18-yard box. Short kick taken to free kick taken to White. White twists and turns, sends it back to Rice. Rice now sends it wide right to Scaly. Scaly even go further wide to Saka. Saka has Jimenez with him. He cuts inside of Jimenez. Goes on the right side. Leave Jimenez for dead. Cross the goal! And it's in there. Gyökeres has scored. A tap in for Victor Gyökeres. 1-0 Arsenal. And that was easy like Sunday morning. I thought the play looked like it was falling apart, but finding Saka out wide, who dismissed Raul Jimenez. He cuts in on the left, then cuts in on the right. Yeah, Jimenez fell on his butt, and it was all for naught as Saka laid it on the plate for Victor Gyökeres. Yep, and he's onside. Yep, no worry there about any sort of offside. Easy like Sunday morning for Football Club Arsenal. Perfect start to the game for Mikel Arteta and company. So just want to point out that Odegaard is not on the bench, so he's not available for the game. I'm looking at the sub list here. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So here is Arsenal applying a bit more pressure to to Fulham. Fulham trying to get a club high 20 goals for Victor Gyökeres in all competition this season. Here is Saliba with it. Gunners fans now in full voice. Team is playing a very high, up tempo, very more up tempo, a more up tempo start, very high pace start here. Well, not very, but a higher intensity start to this game than last week's game against Newcastle for Arsenal. Here's White outright finds Eberechi Eze, and Eberechi Eze has his pocket pick. He's down, holding his foot, but referee says play on. Now he's back up. Scaly recovers as Fulham having a bit of trouble here to get out, and the ball is all the way back to Leno. Leno sends it long, looking for Harry Wilson, and is cleared out by Calaferi. Trossard control. Scaly back, Louis Scaly back to Calaferi. Calaferi all the way back to Gabriel to Saliba. Here is Saka. Saka now sends it back to Ben White. Fulham, this is the first time Fulham conceded a goal in the opening 15 minutes in the Premier League this season. So, well, I guess there's a first time for everything. Arsenal looking good. Started the game quite well. They're looking good. Fulham is not necessarily able to get a footing. I mean, Chukwueze down on the left side had a few as Ben White gave away the ball to Simit Rowe. Simit Rowe twists and turns, and he's fouled by Declan Rice, and it's a free kick to Fulham. All right, so from a Fulham perspective, you want to get Samuel Chukwueze and Harry Wilson on the ball, the wide players, and Emil Smith Rowe. They haven't been able. They got Chukwueze in a bit earlier on, but nothing doing. So Chukwueze spent a lot of time having to defend. And I'm not saying that defending is Chukwueze's MO. Is his big big attribute. So free kick to Fulham. Basie getting ready to restart play. Sends it long. Looking to find Jimenez. Jimenez almost in there, but couldn't get on the end of it, and it's into the arms of goalkeeper Rea. Rea sends it quickly to Saliba. Saliba on the top of his 18-yard box now. Finds Declan Rice. Rice goes around, drives into the midfield. Now drives into Fulham's half. Rice on a run, looking to go through. Finds Saka out wide. That was too easy. And Robinson is able to clear, get a footed, and it's ricochet, and it's out for a throw to Arsenal. So this Fulham midfield is wide open. Wide open. Lukic and Harrison Reed. Marco Silva is in full voice in the dugout. Ben White in Fulham's half. Find Saka, who's inside. Saka to Trossard. Trossard with a shot from outside the 18, and it's out for a goal kick. It almost seems like Fulham is Lukic and Harrison Reed are just a step too late earlier on in this game. They're the step behind, a slow. Burn Leno. Leno finds Anderson. Anderson to Castagna. Castagna now sends it along to Jimenez. Jimenez looking to chest it on to Harry Wilson, and it's out for a throw to Arsenal. Fulham can't even hold the ball for 2 seconds or 30 seconds. BCN Sports watch along of English Premier League. And again, here on BCN Sports, we're trying to follow the teams running in the two teams competing for this title for the remainder of the season. I mean, Arsenal and Man City. Man City will play on Monday against Everton. So Arsenal is looking to extend this lead to 6 points. Of course, they would have played two more games ahead of Man City. And I mean, if you collect points, if you get points, so you win games. I mean, you put the pressure onto Man City. We see Thierry Henry in the audience there. Of course, legendary footballer himself, Thierry Henry. So and again, from a Premier League title race situation, this Man City versus Everton game, it's by no means a walkover for Man City. So they will visit Everton at the Dickinson Stadium on Monday. So, you know. So for Arsenal and Arsenal fans, it's important to win this game and try to call off the dogs, so to speak. Win emphatically, score as many goals as you can, because goal difference could be a factor later on. And then, get some of these players off the field later on so they can put their legs up and get ready for Atletico Madrid in the middle of the week. Offside was called on Gyökeres. Fulham kick. Here is Anderson. Sends it side to side ball game. Robinson. Saka pressure in. Robinson now finds Jimenez. Jimenez can't keep it under control. And it's given away by Fulham again. And it's ricochet off a Fulham play. And it's out for a throw into Arsenal. Fulham just cannot hold the ball in the first 20 minutes of this game. I mean, they're really struggling to maintain possession. And this is where Lukic, Harrison Reed, and Emil Smith Rowe has to come involved and get the ball. I mean, here is Basie. He's supposed to be that straw that stirs this Fulham. And Fulham again give away the ball. Out for another throw to Arsenal. Former Arsenal player Emmitt Smith Rowe is not looking too impressive here. Here's Ben White to restart play. And Arsenal gave it away, and it's off Saka, who's the captain for the day, and the ball is out for a throw. Throw it to Fulham. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to subscribe to the channel. BCN Sports watch along of English Premier League. Fulham is 3 points outside the top 6. So, I mean, 3 points here could serve them really well for that Europa League spot. So they do have something to play for. Here is Robinson. Robinson, Smith Rowe. Short pass there from Smith Rowe to Chukwueze, and Chukwueze trying to get it out, and it's off an Arsenal play, and it's out for a throw. Robinson getting ready to restart play. Anthony Robinson now finds, and the ball is back with Arsenal. Saliba all the way back to Gabriel. Yeah, man, Fulham can't hold on to this ball. It's like it's hot putty. They cannot possess the ball for 30 seconds. And how you going to score if you don't have the ball, Bridget? So Fulham is, I think from a Fulham perspective right now, is trying to just see out, try to defend as best as they can and keep it together. Don't concede another goal. And the defense starts with up top from Emil Smith Rowe and Raul Jimenez. They have to be able to put some pressure on these Arsenal players with the ball. Arsenal doing a lot of side-to-side in the back. Ball is with Raya. Raya sends it long. Looking for Fulham to come out. Looking for Gyökeres. Gyökeres in a battle there with Anderson. Anderson getting bullied by Gyökeres, and Anderson has dragged him down, and it's a foul on Anderson. Free kick to Arsenal. Yo, it's a foul, Anderson. He's complaining that Yacarez was bumping into him, but you dragged him down. Come on. It's like I'm on blind. Free kick to Arsenal. Rice standing over it again. Remember, the first goal came from eventually from a free kick. Here comes Rice, sends this one in and punched out by Leno into Eze. Eze shot blocked by Jimenez, and Jimenez in a foot race with Raya, and Raya got there first. Wow, that was good there by Raya. Saka with it. Yo, Jimenez, you know faster than that, Bridgen. Maybe 3-4 years ago, Raul Jimenez would have gotten there before David Raya. But very good awareness there from goalkeeper David Raya to be able to recover that loose ball before Jimenez, because he would have been in on goal. Here is Arsenal sends it all the way back to Raya. Raya finds Saliba. Saliba with it. Turns it left to Rice. Rice seen a lot of the ball. Lewis Scaly was seen a lot earlier, but now he's pretty much being boxed up by Fulham. Here comes Arsenal. White, right, White looking for a long ball, trying to get Yacarez behind, and Anderson headed it out. And Bessie trying to control, but Bessie eventually kicks it out. And another throw to Arsenal. This might be Arsenal's 10th throw so far. And I want to say maybe 8 of those 10 throws came on this right side down Saka's side. Here comes Trossard. Trossard finds Scaly. Scaly looking to get it in, and the referees for Arsenal are playing them for a foul, but no dice. And Raul Jimenez getting chopped over, bounced off. Referees not giving any call and letting them play on. And now Eze is down, and Harrison Reed, Lukic chops him down, and it's a yellow card to Lukic. So the referee was letting them play. Then he decided to say, you know what, Lukic, I'm going to give you a yellow card. Let's see. Yep, yellow card there and Lukic. I guess if you can't catch up to them, just kick them down. Imagine this is Sasa Lukic. This is pretty much all you've done the entire game as a holding midfielder. Box cover, yellow card. Coach Marcus Silva has his work cut out for him. Free kick to Arsenal. Lewis Scaly getting ready to restart play. Free kick is inside Arsenal's half. He sends it back to Saliba. Saliba back to Scaly. Scaly now sends it wide to Gabriel. Gabriel finds Trossard pushing back. Gabriel, and now the ball is all the way back to Saliba on top of his 18. Finds Eze. Eze looking to do a dummy, but look at is behind him. Didn't work. Scaly in a bit of struggle there, and the referee has called a foul. So now referee's calling it. 1 minute them now call it, that next minute them call it. So now he's calling a little bit closer. Here come Yacarez inside the 18-yard box. Lays it off to White. White back to Anderson, shuts the door. Rice picks it up, sends it out to Scaly. Gave Scaly a little bit more work than he needed. Saliba pushing it through, looking for White. Now the ball is out to Saka on the right side. Robinson. Saka quickly off to White. White finds Rice. White. Rice. Saka. Scaly. Scaly now turns it back to Saliba. Saliba finds Declan Rice. Declan Rice cuts it inside, and Anderson heads it out for a corner kick, and Anderson could use the break. He could use the break. Welcome to BCN Sports watch along of English Premier League action. English Premier League leading Arsenal versus Fulham. 17 goals scored from corner kicks this season. Most by any club in a single season in Premier League history. This is why they call Arsenal the set piece FC. I don't care. You score them how you can. That's what the objective. Corner kick to Arsenal. Saliba is up and Gabriel is also up. Saka standing over it. Corner kick is from the right flag facing the goal. If you're facing the goal, it's on the right side. Corner kick. Here's Saka sends it in. Leno's getting powered out there, and Leno can't control it. And somehow that didn't end up in the back of the net. But Fulham struggling to clear their lines, and finally they got it out for a throw. Yo, catch him! The BBC ball. How you? Watch out! It came off the head. I guess he did block it. Came off the shoulders of Gabriel there. I think Gabriel maybe missed a chance to score it. Throw into Arsenal. Long throw coming in from Calaferi. So Gabriel is still up. So is Saliba. Long throw into the box. Headed up by Jimenez. Headed out by Fulham. Eze retreats, picks up. Trossard sends it back in. Leno tries to collect it, and he drops the football. And the referee said the player in a shot. Safe on a shot, and somehow Saka misses it. Burn Leno lost in no man's land, and Arsenal should be up 2-0, but somehow Saka misses it. So Leno came out to collect, dropped the football over, trying to collect over Saliba. Shot by Gyökeres, saved by Leno, retreating to goal. Saka had another opportunity and he pushed it wide. But this is always one of the issues with Leno. Even when he was at Arsenal, I mean, you go for ball and you can't catch the ball. So it remains 1-0. And I suspect Fulham will have to look at their goalkeeper in the offseason. This is the goalkeeper they have right now. Mikel Arteta encouraging his troops. Throw into Fulham. Marco Silva shouting at his players. Chukwueze finds Robinson. And Robinson is not having a good game. He gives the ball away already. Here comes Eze in. Finds Gyökeres. Gyökeres into the box. Robinson is back though. And Gyökeres Letty runs out for a corner kick. That back pass was played behind Gyökeres. He couldn't get control of it. Anthony Robinson not having a good game. No. Maybe Marco Silva should evaluate his options. 28 minutes into the football game. Set piece FC lining up another corner kick. Let's see what Leno do. Let's see what Leno is up to. The third corner for Arsenal. Or is it the fourth? I don't know. Yeah, 3 or 4. And none for Fulham. Here comes the corner kick. Saka sends it in and headed out there by Anderson. Chukwueze can't get on the end of it. Rice back to Saka, back to Rice. Rice trying to find Saka and somehow he gets Saka in. Saka comes across and must be a goal. It's cleared out by Fulham and somehow these people can't get the ball. Calaferi in goal! Arsenal makes it 2-0 and it's been coming. Fulham has been piss poor this game. They might get about 4 or 5. Dominant performance from the Gunners. I don't even know if Fulham know what the goal looked like down at the other end. They cannot clear the lines. They cannot clear the lines. I mean, they are just struggling to get a foothold in this football game. Very impressive by Arsenal. Yo, and Arsenal is... And wait, he's offside. We're going to chop off this goal. He's offside. Yeah, Calaferi is offside. But he's offside. Yep. Sorry, Gunners fans. Brother, you looking right down the line. How you drift in the offside position? Let me go ahead and take off the goal. He looks like he's expressing like, yeah, I was offside. Well, VAR is still checking. I already took off the goal. It looked to me from the angle I saw it is offside. You know what? Let me not take off Arsenal's goal until it's confirmed. Yeah, it's offside. I didn't need I didn't need much Look at that. As I saw that, I immediately said offside. All right. So Fulham gets a reprieve. 38 minutes into the game. Yo, what a side lucky. All right, Robinson. The bad playing Robinson so far has to get better. Now pushes himself up, pushes upfield, trying to find Smith Rowe. Chukwueze on it. Chukwueze sends it right to Harry Wilson out left. Didn't remember Harry Wilson is playing. Who finds Castagna? Castagna to Chukwueze. Chukwueze is like, just give me the damn ball. And now Chukwueze sends it back to Harrison Reed. Basie to Robinson. Robinson back to Basie. Calvin Basie thinks he's a striker. Pushing up the field, twists and turns. Saka finds Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe out left. Finds Chukwueze. Chukwueze back to Rowe. And now, Lukic. Lukic picks it up as Arsenal, holding its defensive shape quite well. Trossard applying a bit of pressure to Castagna. Reed with it. Finds Robinson. Robinson. Squeeze it into space for Basie. Lukic is also showing for support. Castagna with it. Harry Wilson with it. Wilson find Lukic. Lukic to Harrison Reed, who finds Chukwueze, who should have controlled the stupid ball, but he flips it to Smith Rowe. Chukwueze, you have time. Why are you passing off the ball? Now Chukwueze with it. He sends a shot, and it's blocked out by Declan Rice. Chukwueze sends it to Castagna, who finds Chukwueze, and Chukwueze is rushed off it by Lewis Scaly, and Chukwueze is down, but referee says play on. Yeah, get up. Now he's back on his feet. As here comes Harry Wilson in behind Arsenal's defense for some reason. Might be offside there. So Robinson with a shot. Blocked off by Ben White. Saka is there to recover it. And it's off Robinson, and it's out for a goal kick. This is a strange football game. Somehow Fulham should be down by 2 or 3 goals. And they could have scored. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to subscribe. Big up to Junior. Big up yourself. Junior says out and about. Big up yourself, family. Big up yourself. Enjoy your Saturday, family. Do join us tomorrow at 10:30. Liverpool versus Man United. Here is Gabriel. Gabriel to Eze. Eze to Trossard. Trossard looking to run the Fulham defense. Finds Eze. Eze cuts in on the right, then turns the ball over. Referees letting him play. No free kick doing. Wilson is still down rolling around, but now he's getting back up. Bern Leno is back with it for Fulham. Basie sends it wide to Robinson, who's grown into the game a bit. Now Chukwueze with it. Chukwueze going towards his own goal. Sends it to Robinson. Robinson sends it long. And he's pretty much giving the ball back to Arsenal. Saliba. Find Lewis Scaly. Lewis Scaly has time to decide what he wants to do. Sends it sideways to Saliba. Saliba to Declan Rice. Into Fulham half. He turns the ball back to White. White. Looking to Gyökeres, but Gyökeres was in the offside. Now he turns it back. Here comes Fulham with it. Lukic. Indecisive. Finds Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe looking for an option. Now he goes back to Lukic. Looking for Castagna, but he was cut off. Now he decides to go to Harrison Reed, who finds Calvin Basie, who decides to slow it down. Ball is back to Harrison Reed and Anderson. Anderson now looking to find Jimenez. Referee says no dice. As Jimenez is asking for a foul. Arsenal with it. Scaly. Yeah, Lewis Scaly. Why are you playing the ball back? You know what? One of the basic fundamentals for people who are playing midfield. Young kids, if you're playing midfield, keep an eye, look around you. Be aware where you are and who is around you. You don't need to play the ball back to the defender. You have 5 yards of space, sometimes more. A lot of these players just immediately sending the ball back to the defender. No. Drop your shoulder and turn. Here is Fulham. Yeah, what kind of idiot side this? Chukwueze with it. Now he's going at Saliba and he turns the ball back. Yeah, Fulham want to beat with Bell. This side seems a bit disorganized. And a misplaced pass here from Lukic. Cut out. Here's Arsenal. Yo, this side I forget 6 love. Fulham forget 6. And referee didn't call a foul there. Arsenal fans wanted to foul as Harrison Reed was over the back of Gyökeres. Ball is with Fulham. Yo, Fulham looking like a Sunday League side. Here's Basie pushing up to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe in a pocket of space. Sends it wide to Harrison Wilson. And he pushes the ball too far for Wilson. And Wilson somehow almost in, and it's cleared out by Raya off the back of Saliba and out for a corner kick. That could have gone anywhere, including the goal. What? And Raya was telling Calaferi to send it long. Don't give it back to me. He had to give it back to you. He was facing you. Corner kick to Fulham. Their first corner of the game. What in the world am I watching? Still 1-0. Corner kick. And a player is down. Saliba is down. But here comes Arsenal. No, it's Gabriel that was down. Saliba being pressured by Basie. Ball is with White. White now gives it away to Lukic. Lukic almost in. Sends it across the box. Cut out by Lewis Scaly. And kicked away by White. And it's out for a throw as Ben White. Is he okay? And the man applauding like crazy is Mikel Arteta. I would be cursing Ben White there. What the hell is he doing? The cheerleader himself is Mikel Arteta. Here comes Chukwueze. Chukwueze now sends it wide to Robinson. Robinson trying to find Chukwueze. Ball is played behind him. And Chukwueze is frustrated. He's like, what the hell is this, man? Ball is back with Fulham. Anderson finds Robinson. Robinson. Lukic is to his right. Tries to find Lukic. Cut out by Rice. And Robinson launches into Declan Rice. And he might be going to the books here. Into the referee book. Nope. No yellow card. It seems like his Rice is gingerly getting back to his feet. Free kick to Arsenal. Raya coming out to take it. (1-0) Arsenal leads. 39th minute of play. Free kick, of course, is just outside the 18-yard box, maybe about 6 or 8 yards. Raya sends it long. Trying to get Gyökeres behind, headed up by Calvin Basie. Picked up by Rice. As Smith Rowe is easily moved out of the way. Yo, Smith Rowe, come off, I feel. Here is Saliba with it. Sends it wide to Trossard. Trossard was going to go long, but then he plays it back to Saliba. Saliba with it. Eze in the pocket of space. Finds it to Saka. Saka. Robinson on him. Saka. Robinson's not going for the stepovers. Scaly trying to find Eze. Cleared out by Fulham. But Arsenal comes over. Trossard into the box. Trossard drops one. And then a shot. And it's easily into the arms. A tame effort. What I call a daisy cutter into the arms of goalkeeper Leno. Leno trying to restart play quickly, but slowed down there by Gyökeres. He goes to Basie. Basie finds Samuel Chukwueze, who gives the ball back right to Arsenal White. But Ben White played the ball back to his defenders rather than keeping the attack going. He was 10 yards away from Fulham's box. What? Here is Arsenal trying to get Gyökeres behind. Gyökeres now with Anderson. Anderson pushes him back. Picks up by Saka. Very good play. Saka is in. And a goal. About BBC time. 2-0. This one will stick. Yeah, Fulham is not ready. Starboy Saka with the goal. Yo, so, so that play started off from Fulham possessing the ball. Bessie played it short looking for Chukwueze. Played it to Chukwueze who showed up for it. Chukwueze cannot make the ball stick. Tried some foolishness, turned the ball over. I felt like Arsenal when they picked up that ball, Ben White should have continued to push it forward. But Ben White went all the way back to his defense, to Saliba. And then Saliba, I think that ball was passed from deep to Gyökeres. No, it was Eze who passed the ball from deep to Gyökeres. Gyökeres. Two Fulham players. Bad defending from Anthony Robinson and Anderson. And allowing Saka to get to get behind them. And easily, I mean, a good goal. But he beat Burnley now at the near post. What kind of goalkeeping in this? I tell you, they should get 6. So 2-0 for Arsenal as we approach halftime. Easy like Sunday morning. I mean, I think for Fulham, you got to get Emil Smith Rowe off the field. He's not doing absolutely anything. As the man in the 10 position, he needs to come get the ball. When he gets the ball, he can't maintain it. He wilts under the pressure, at least based on under this Arsenal pressure. Here he is with the ball. Now he sends the ball right back to Burnley now. The BBC is this, and Arsenal is pressuring the hell out of them, and they cannot keep the ball for 1 minute. And we have a foul here has been called on Jimenez, and Jimenez is not happy. Again, the data on the line, a free kick to Arsenal. I mean, what is it? A 35th or 35? I don't remember. A huge amount, whatever, 30 something meetings between these teams in the EPL, and it's dominated by Arsenal. And is it 30 something? Whatever it is, Arsenal dominates this competition, this matchup, and it's showing today. Long ball looking for Saka out wide again. Fulham might get 6. Saka into Calaferi. Calaferi in the box. Turns it in. Yo, goal to youth. What the BBC, and somehow, well, it's Saliba at the back post. Saliba now gonna score them thing then. It seems that Arsenal has like 2 players extra. And this is a team that played in the middle of the week. And Harry Wilson shouting at his teammates. But it's not, you all gotta defend, buddy. You gotta tackle and win some tackles. Shouting is not helping. Arsenal comes away with it again. Sends it back, and Harry Anderson all the way back to Burnley now. Again, this game might end 6-0 if we continue at this rate in the second half. Trossard. Scaly. Finally, someone read the heart, but he gives the ball right back to Arsenal. Here's Calaferi. Eze on top of the 18, and a shot from Eze. Looking to find that lower corner, and it's out for a goal kick. Looking to use the defender there to go around. I see what you're trying to do, Eberich Eze. See what you're trying to do. Marco Silva is like, yo, I just say go where I get beaten as usual. He has an expression like, I can't do anything about. Here is Robinson into midfield, and it turns the ball back to Anderson and Basie in the same area. and given right back to Arsenal by Anderson. Here comes Arsenal. 3 and 4, 4 and 3. Here is ball sent wide to Trossard. Trossard into the box, twisting and turning. Not passing the BBC ball and cleared out by Fulham. Should have been a shot and goal at least. 3 minutes of added time. Saliba's played most of this game in Fulham's half. Here's Rice with it. Rice to White. White to Starboy Saka. Saka to White. As Fulham is chasing shadows. Saka back to White. Saka. And Rice slows it down for a bit. Scaly shows, but they go back to White. And a heavy touch there from Ben White. Fulham trying to get Jimenez behind. And it's easily cleaned up by Saliba. Here's Gabriel with it for Arsenal. Gabriel send. The only way Fulham score a goal today is unless Arsenal give them a goal. Only way Fulham score a goal is unless Arsenal give them a goal. This is it. I've seen enough. Fulham might get about 4 or 5 today. Or even 6. It's piss poor. Here's Leno. Oh, Leno find Anderson. Anderson pushes up. Finds Robinson. Robinson now sends it back to Basie. I think Fulham is just trying to go in for the halftime. Basie have his hands wide open, don't have an option, and he sends it all the way back to Burn Leno. And he's like saying, I don't know who to pass the ball to. Pass the ball to the white shirt. And here's the ball to Smith Rowe, and Smith Rowe kicks it out for a throw. Smith Rowe, come off of the field. Throw into Arsenal. Here's Rice. Checks his shoulder. Turns and finds White. That's how you play midfield, Lewis Scaly. You check to see who's around you. You don't just send it back to the defender. Here is Saliba. Gabriel. Here is Calafari almost in, but Burn Leno is quickly out to collect. Basie. Basie finds Reed. Harrison Reed. Back to Calvin Basie. I don't even know if Harrison Reed a play a box cover. Lukic and Harrison Reed has been missing in that 6th position at the base of that midfield. And Basie tries to send a long ball and he hits it off Lukic. And Arsenal comes away with it. It's a comedy of errors for Fulham. Here is Rice to Saka. Saka has Robinson on him. He says, yo, come off of me. But Saka almost gives the ball to Harry Wilson. Gabriel intercepts. Here comes Arsenal. Trossard. Trossard driving at Castagna. 1 step over, 2 step over. Goes around Castagna. Chips it. Gyökeres goal! 3-0. Yo! I tell you, it's easy like Sunday morning. Arsenal 3. Fulham 0. Yo. Yo! Again, Fulham should get 6 love today. I am, a 6 them I get. Fulham should get 6. 6. Yeah, clearly onside. No defender positionally know where the attacker is. Calvin Basie is out of position. No, Castagna running on, trying to keep up with Trossard. No sort of defensive pressure to stop the play. Good goal there from Gyökeres, falling back, but headed it to the opposite side of goalkeeper Leno. 3-0. Yo, referee, call it now. Let them go and go reset. There's nothing from that Fulham front 3. Chukwueze, Smith Rowe, and Wilson. They're not attacking and them can't defend. It's piss poor. Here is Jimenez, controls in the box and tries to take a shot. Gabriel said, no, you won't. And clears it out. Here is, and we're at the half. Oh, boy. And Arsenal fans are in full voice. So 2 goals. Let me update it. Goals from Gyökeres and Saka. Arsenal. All Arsenal. All Arsenal in this football game. Yo, what to break down? I mean, let me go ahead and add Gyökeres goals. So to this thing. So Gyökeres with 2 and Saka with 1 to make it 3-0. Could have been more. Fulham should be lucky. It's not more. Copy link. I mean, get this updated. Paste. What? That didn't load. Let's paste. Oh, there you go. All right. 3-0 at the half. All Arsenal. Playing like a team that is chasing something, and that is the impressive thing about the first half from Arsenal. I mean, a team that played in the semi-final of a Champions League on Wednesday, and they will play on Tuesday again in the semi-finals of the Champions League. And maybe it's a scenario where they're just levels to this. There are teams that are above each other, and I think the numbers kind of bears that out. And the fact that Arsenal is just head and shoulders above Fulham in this football game. I think overall Arsenal should be up maybe more, but 3-0 they will take it. In the second half they will look to score as many more goals as they can. By my assessment, I think they might score about 6 goals in this game if things continue the way they are. In the first half. I expect, from the Fulham perspective, I expect Coach Marco Silva to make some adjustments. This Fulham team, I mean, the front 4, is just non-existent, and they're not good defensively. Yes, Raul Jimenez will trot back and help, but Emil Smith-Rowe cannot hold the ball up. He's turned the ball over. Samuel Chukwueze hasn't been able to make Ben White defend consistently. So the ball, anytime Fulham has the ball, and Harry Wilson, might as well Harry Wilson come off of the field, because it's absolutely nothing from him. So basically, anytime the ball goes to Fulham attackers, it just comes right back to Arsenal. It goes right back to Arsenal. And so Fulham defenders are constantly trying to figure out how to keep possession of the ball, and they're struggling to keep pace with this Arsenal outfit. So what can Coach Marco Silva do? Get Oscar Bob on the game. Take off Harry Wilson. Put Oscar Bob at right wing. Hell, yo, get Muniz and get Rodrigo Muniz on at the expense of Emil Smith-Rowe. I mean, at the end of the day, just go 2 strikers. It's not working with Emil Smith-Rowe in this 10. At least what you will have with Muniz and Jimenez. Jimenez can drop and play the 10 and link up play. At least with Muniz, you will have now Saliba and Gabriel now will have a more physical presence in terms of attackers around them. And it's piss poor. And maybe Kenny Tete play in that right back. Castagna is not doing so well with Trossard either. And Anthony Robin. You know what? Fulham, change the whole side if you can. Box cover. Change the entire team if you can. Box cover. It's been that poor for Fulham. I'm curious to see what coach, what Coach Marco Silva will do, if anything, because it's been that bad. And again, they might get 6 in the second half. It's been that poor. So, um, I'm gonna step away for a little bit. Join me for the second half in a few minutes. It's been all, all Arsenal. I can't say that, emphasize that enough. Dominant first half by the Gunners. With this victory, which they will win, they will lead Man City by 6 points. So join me in a few minutes for the second half. All right. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Saturday. Again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, family. BCN Sports watch along of English Premier League.
Side of the team, players have come back into the side. Tross on the left-hand side, Lewis Skelly's been bright, and Calafiori, he adds an attacking threat from Miles Lewis Skelly as well in midfield. He's been fantastic, actually. He's not made them look, I think they missed a beat, but what I would say is, we talked about it before, and it was get the job done. Okay, they have the job done. At 3-0, we all know, you come in, you just exhale. He's got to be repping them up to go back out there and go, you won the game, now go get some more goals. They might win the league based on hats like this. Yeah, because if they both win out, if both Arsenal and City win out, it'll come down to goal difference. As of now, Arsenal's goal difference is +4, better off. But City will have 2 games in hand by the end of the weekend, or end of next week, actually. So I'm just so distracted. I'm in Julian. I've got to go to break. Saka and Victor Gyökeres. It is all about them so far today. They're inching away the goal difference, but they're going to be hungry for more.
After an accident, your next move isn't always clear. You've already been hurt once, and one wrong move can hurt you even more.
When everything feels unfamiliar, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. That's where a call to Montlick can help relieve the pressure so you can protect what comes next. Accidents are stressful. Your comeback shouldn't be. Call Montlick at Pound Win. That's pound 946.
Linda Beaver here. Buying a pre-owned vehicle is a big decision. It should feel exciting, not overwhelming. That's why at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Mazda, only the best vehicles are in place on our front line. Each one is carefully selected and inspected. Quality isn't negotiable. One property, 2 trusted brands, over 700 pre-owned vehicles. From a $5,000 starter car to your dream car. We have options for every budget. Beaver Toyota and Beaver Mazda, the safest place to make a big decision.
Today is the day. It's the 152nd Kentucky Derby. Renegade, the morning line favourite, looks to become the first horse to win from post 1 in 40 years. Trainer Bill Mott, winner of last year's Derby, goes head-to-head with his son Riley. They're up against Cherie DeVoe, who's seeking to become the first female trainer to win the Derby. And Larry Colbus, the voice of this iconic race, will show me how he calls it. All that and more coming up later.
The Premier League on NBC is brought to you by Verizon.
Now what's odd? If something's free, people just can't resist it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Wow, is that picture free? Yeah, I need one.
But what really baffles me is that people turn down free money by not switching to Geico. Customers can save $900, you know. Oh, free picture? It's not quite one. Excuse me, sorry. Do you have this in extra small?
Oversized is in. Totally.
It feels good to find the right fit. It feels good to Geico.
I wanted a trip I'd never forget. And it was everything. Dishes I'd never tasted before. Dinners in private palaces. Flowers everywhere. The air was full of color. Every element. Perfect.
Yeah, yep. Welcome to BCN Sports. Yes, people, back again for the second half. Hopefully, having a greetings, folks. Welcome for the second half of Arsenal versus Fulham in the English Premier League. I am Benton, man in the ship. Fulham is getting Butter Bros, aka they're getting a beating as we're off for the second half. Let's see if there were any subs made. All right, now Fulham's kicking from left to right. Let's see if we have any subs, and I'll get you subs made shortly, if any. Yo, so this coach come back out with the same starting 11. I guess Marco Silva says I can't do anything about this. So the objective here for Fulham for Arsenal is to not only win, but of course they win this game based on the score. Saka is off, so Saka is taken out and Madueke is on. So Madueke is on for Arsenal. All right, second half action. Scaly with it. Lewis Scaly playing this game in midfield. I mean, is he playing well? I mean, I think at the end of the day he wasn't really tested. He's doing what is expected of him. Here is so I mean we'll see, but he wasn't really tested in the second half. Fulham was that poor. Here is Castagna with it for Fulham. Harry Wilson sends it inside, finds Lukic. Lukic now sends it wide to Basie. It's important for Arsenal to keep the tempo up and essentially replicate the same sort of performance in the second half. Let's see with Saka being off if that I expect a fall off, but cannot be too big of a fall off. Fulham turns the ball over. Here is Madueke asking for a free kick. Fulham comes away with it. Shot from Jimenez from way outside, and it's out for a goal kick. Well, I guess Arsenal. I guess Fulham is saying like, "Hey, at least we're gonna compete here, people." Yeah, that's more like a hopeful sub shot there. Here is long ball looking for Gyökeres. Wait, Arsenal has never suffered a home defeat against Fulham, so it's not going to happen today. Not going to happen today. Not even a point Fulham I get out of this. Here is Fulham. Chukwueze down the left side. Overlapping is Robinson. Chukwueze then this same silly stuff with the football. Ball end up that attack coming to nothing. Now the ball is with Robinson. Robinson turns it back to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe turns it to Basie. Basie, and of course, in Arsenal's half, Chukwueze back to Basie. Basie to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe has Rice for company. Pushes it right to Robinson. Robinson cross and a slice from Saliba and out for a corner kick. Could have gone anywhere. Corner kick to Fulham. Second corner of the game? I think so. Reed is standing over it. Harrison Reed getting ready to send it in. Corner sends in and headed on, but across the face of the goal. Out for a goal kick. Or is it another corner? Yeah, it's another corner. It seems like it came off Calafiori there. Yep, came off Calafiori. Corner, third corner for Fulham. Corner sends it in and headed on, and it's out for a goal kick. Here comes Arsenal. Saliba Saliba finds Scaly. Scaly back to Saliba. Again, the only sub for Arsenal. Arsenal took off Saka at halftime. Saka scored a goal and was on an assist, right? He did. Here is Ben White trying to get behind. He would have been in an offside position. Lukic finds Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe has two players in front of him. He finds Chukwueze. Chukwueze now sends the ball all the way back to Lukic. Lukic. Back to Calvin Bassey. Bassey has the ball. He's seen a lot of the ball and he's not a creative player. What the BBC are going with him and look at that side. Ball into across from Chukwueze, given to Arsenal. Here comes Declan Rice. Rice looking for Noni man. Madueke has Lukic for company. He's running at Lukic. Cuts inside. This might be the fourth for Arsenal. Looking to find Eze. Now Eze is into the box. And good step there from Bassey to intercept Eze's shot. Smith Rowe back to Robinson. And Robinson trying to send it long. Blocked off by I think that Ben White. Here is Arsenal. Scaly sends it to Saliba. Saliba now sends it all the way back to Declan Rice, who's into his own half. Finds Gabriel. 51st minute of play. Gabriel orchestrating things for Arsenal. Finds Trossard. Trossard sends it back to Gabriel. Gabriel now sends it wide, looking for Madueke. Madueke controls. Has about 8 to 10 yards of space between him and Robinson. Decides to run at him. Sends it into the box. Looking for Calaferi and Gyökeres. Headed out by Anderson. Here comes Fulham. Robinson looking to send it long for the running of Harry Wilson, and Gabriel is calmly. Here is Lewis Scaly. A bit of a struggle there to keep control of the ball, and Smith Rowe picked his pocket but gave it right back, or tripped himself up. I probably said it's a good decision by Mikel Arteta and Arsenal getting rid of ML Smith Rowe. Man, I'm ready for your video light, brother. Former Arsenal player. In fact, he doesn't even start sometimes for Fulham. So I guess this is kind of the way lay of the land. Promising player when he was at Arsenal. Here is Trossard. On the left side. Finds Gabriel. Turns it back. Gabriel said, come fast, take your beating. Trossard with it. Steps over. Finds three Fulham players in his way. Then sends it inside to Eze at the top of the 18. Who turns away from one. Almost turns it to Jimenez but kept control anyway. Now he dribbles wide, sends it to Madueke. Madueke finds the overlap of Ben White. Ben White trips it across. And it's headed out there by Fulham. Fulham is appealing for a free kick. Referee is finally obliged. Big up BM, big up yourself. Big up, me say hope all is well, bro. Arsenal's not going down without a fight. Yeah, man. As in the Premier League title. I mean, if they win out the games, and they just have to make sure a game like this, 6, give Fulham 6 and make it come down to goal difference. I think for Arsenal. And also, Man City, of course, Man City will have 2 games to make up on Arsenal. But, Man City has to go to, Man City will play Everton on Monday, and that's not an easy contest by any stretch of the imagination. So, yo, Arsenal, give aside 6. Give Fulham 6. We want 6. Guys sitting here watching this pathetic display from Fulham. Let's give them 6 and figure. Here's White all the way back to Saliba. The Gabriel finds Scaly. Yeah, Lewis Scaly playing in midfield. He has been kind of just cruising through this half. No sort of serious pressure. And I mean, come on. What kind of, is this a Premier League team, this? I'm going to run through some of the scores from earlier. Yeah, Arsenal is on ahead on goal difference. Yeah, they're on ahead of goal difference now because they played 2 games ahead of Man City, right? So They're ahead on goal difference now because of those 2 games. Right? So, or these 2 games. This game is still taking place. All right, scores earlier in the English Premier League. We run through some scores, not just in the Premier League, other games. Fulham has been piss poor, so we'll just keep an eye on this football game. Wolves 1, Sunderland 1 earlier. Newcastle 3-1 over Brighton. Did not see that one coming. Eddie Howe much needed that victory. Brentford 3-0 over West Ham. And West Ham, wow, 3-0. Yeah, I think West Ham might be getting relegated. you can't end a relegation battle and get 3, brethren. Come on. Of course, Arsenal leading Fulham. I expect more from Fulham, especially Raul Jimenez. They're not ready for prime time, BM says. They are not. You know, Raul Jimenez is trying his best, but I think ML Smith Rowe, Harry Wilson, and Samuel Chukwueze has been piss poor in that first half. Smith Rowe is soft like porridge. Here's Arsenal behind. Gyökeres 3! Blocked off by Burnley up. Score the hat-trick, youth. What the BBC I do? And he was looking into the white of Burnley and he misses it. Well, he kicked it on the goalkeeper. Chip him! It should be 4. What? No wonder Kai Havertz has start over you. And that's not something to celebrate for Gunners fans. Ball is back with Arsenal. Alright, continuing some scores. Highlighting some scores from earlier. In La Liga, Villarreal 5, Levante 1, Atletico Madrid 2, Valencia 0, Atletico Madrid, Cholo Simeone. Rest our bench players. Yo, take Salad under your cloth. Leandro Trossard putting a Salad or a Meg on Castagna there. That, and of course, Atletico Madrid will play Arsenal later on. Well, not later on, but this coming week, they will play on Tuesday in the second leg of the semi-final. Currently tied at 1-1. Champions League semi-final, currently tied at 1 apiece. All right, back to the English Premier League game here. Fulham trying to apply a bit of pressure. The strangest thing for me is that Marco Silva did not make a sub. Yeah, take off some of these bugs off I feel, brethren. Don't let the product of the Premier League go to crap like this. Come on. Take off some of these bugs. Long ball from Raya. Robinson in a bit of a fight here. Madueke. Robinson, get up. A free kick to our Arsenal as Anton Robinson has been piss poor this afternoon. Which Pepe? Who? The American? I heard Pepe will be the replacement for Fulham this season. Even though even though Jimenez is 35, I still think Fulham should keep him. The American? Nah. Hey, brother there. Hype ball of that man. Free kick to Arsenal. Is doing quite well in the Dutch league, but there are levels to this. Free kick to Arsenal. Declan Rice standing over it. 11 yards outside Fulham's 18-yard box on the right side. Right hash mark. Rice sends it in, and Calvin Bassey headed it out to the left, but collected by Gyökeres. Gyökeres to Calafiori. Calafiori. Arsenal with a shot, and it ricocheted off a player up in the air for Leno, who looking to send it long for the Mexican Raul Jimenez. Jimenez has no support, and he turns the ball back. Jimenez is like, yo, Bridget, what you want me to do? I am alone against 5 players. Marco Silva make a sub. Robinson with a cross, and it's cut out by Saliba. Continuing our scores roundup, La Liga action, of course, Atletico Madrid defeated Valencia 2-0. Valencia The boys with the bat on their back has been piss poor for years now. Deportivo Alaves and Atleti drew 1-1. Later on, Osasuna will take on Football Club Barcelona. By the way, make sure to check out that Ronaldinho Gaucho documentary on Netflix. Quite informative. You know, of course, Ronaldinho Gaucho, one of the players that we have enjoyed over the years in this space. You know, big up yourself, Ronaldinho. In the Scudetto in the Italian League, Udinese 2, Torino 0. Come on, Napoli currently 0-0. That should be a good one. Atalanta will take on Genoa at 2:45. In the Bundesliga, which is already wrapped up, Bayern Munich champions of the Bundesliga, Augsburg 3 over Werder Bremen, 3-1 over Werder Bremen. Cologne and Union Berlin 2-2. Stuttgart and Hoffenheim 3-3. Hamburg 2-1 over Eintracht Frankfurt. Bayern Munich and Heidenheim drew 3-3. Bayern Munich, the Kier. Bayer Leverkusen defeat leading Leipzig 2-0. French League, Nantes 3-0 Olympique Marseille. PSG 2-2 with Lorient. Metz 2-0 with Monaco, Nice and Lens later on. Here is Fulham. Chukwueze, the man who hasn't done anything, just like the rest of his Fulham teammates. Chukwueze sends the ball in, trying to get Jimenez on the end of it. Cleared out by Calafieri. Jimenez has 9 goals this season in the EPL. I actually like the backup player they have, Rodrigo Muniz. I think he's a good, very physical player. He's quite serviceable. He was having a good season and he picked up an injury. Speaking of which, I would probably put him on and take off Emil Smith-Rowe and just go 2 strikers and tell Raul Jimenez to drop in the number 10 when need to. Box cover. What do you need to lose? Here is Fulham. What worse can happen? You get 6, you're already getting 6. Here's Emil Smith-Rowe. Turning around and back to Anton Robinson. Robinson has been poor. Fine Chukwueze, who has equally been poor. Fulham has been poor. Here's Smith-Rowe with a shot blocked off by Saliba. Gyökeres trying to pick it up and cleared out by Anderson and is out for a throw. We have 2 subs getting ready to come on for Fulham. Or 3 subs. You should change all 11 players. I did call for Oscar Bob at half. I don't know why you didn't sub on the man at halftime. So here are the subs. The captain is coming off. About box cover time. Harrison Reed, piss poor in that midfield. Come off the field. Samuel Chukwueze, come off the field. So Carney is coming on for Reed. Chukwueze is coming off. So Oscar Bob is coming on for Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson, go and go sit down, man. You've been piss poor this entire game. Box cover. Gabriel Jesus and Zubimendi both getting ready to come on for Arsenal. Jesus for Gyökeres. And I would suspect it's Lewis Skelly coming off. And Zubimendi coming on. No, actually, no, it's Declan Rice. Yeah, it makes sense. Declan Rice could use the break. Declan Rice could definitely use the break. Curious to see how Oscar Bob goes about it. Of course, former Man City player, very promising. Josh King. Also, I remember when Josh King scored that goal against Chelsea at the beginning of the season or earlier on the season. Promising player. Gone to the dog for Fulham. Alright, so players that are off for Fulham. Chukwueze, Harry Wilson, Harrison Reed. All off. Players on for Fulham. Tom Kearney, Oscar Bob, and Josh King. For Arsenal, players that are off. Saka, Rice, and Gyökeres. Players that are on for Arsenal: Gabriel Jesus, Madueke, and Martin Zubimendi. Those are the players on for Arsenal. All right, still 3-0. 65th minute of play. BM says Mason Greenwood has gone cold for Marseille. What are your thoughts? I noticed since the Zerbi left, Mason has been. Yeah, I mean, I think Mason Greenwood. I mean, I think Mason Greenwood will be fine. You know, he's a good player. He's not just a good player. He's a very damn good player. Let's make that very clear. Regardless of how I feel about him, otherwise, he's still a very damn good player. He scored how many goals so far this season? Quite a bit of goals, and it's just a rough patch for Mason Greenwood. As in, you know, you cannot be scoring. I didn't expect him to continue to score at the rate that he was earlier on the season. 15 goals, 6 matches. What? 16 goals so far this season. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, I think Mason will be fine. He'll, you know, he's adjusting to the new manager. Yo, score the goal, Jesus! Watch out! This bug offside. But you still gotta score it. Jesus was in there, should have scored it. Fulham giving away the ball. Yep, definitely offside. So yeah, I think Mason Greenwood will be fine. BM. It's just, you know, I don't expect, none of us probably expect a player to continue to score at the high rate throughout the season. You know, new coach, have to adjust, but I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. You know, maybe his last season at Marseille. All right, here is Arsenal back with it. Zubimendi. Of course, Zubimendi should be in that starting 11 against Atletico Madrid on Wednesday. Or it's Tuesday. This coming Tuesday. Here is Calvin Bessie with it for Fulham. Yo, I just asked Fulham, create one chance. That's all. In fact, you know what? Connect 5 passes. Let's see. Fulham, connect 5 passes. Bessie, 1. And they can't connect 2 passes. The ball is out of throw. Here is it. The ball is looking for Josh King, and it's out throw to Arsenal. Fulham, simple request. 5 passes. Also, a bit of score update in the Women's Champions League. UEFA Women's Champions League. Lyon defeated Arsenal 4-3 in the semi-final of the Women's Champions League. So, huge comeback there from Lyon to turn the tide against those Arsenal ladies. Arsenal ladies won the first leg 2-1. Lyon turned in the second leg around 3-1. So, Lyon, of course, Barcelona will play Bayern Munich tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. in the other Women's Champions League semi-final. First leg ended 1-1, which a bit strange there. We'll see. All right, back to the English Premier League action. Still 3-0. Join me tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. for Man United versus Liverpool. Race for Champions League spot, English Premier League. Join myself and Junior and maybe come on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern for Ball Chat Weekly. Recap the week that was in the world of football. You know, of course, there's a lot of storylines in the world of football. Of course, we'll keep an eye on Jamaican Premier League as relegation battle and fight for playoff spot heats up. Of course, Jamaican Women's Premier League action also. Here is Fulham, Smith Rowe. looking to find yeah, the brother put on Muniz, and Josh King clashes into Madueke, and referee has called a foul there on Madueke. Free kick to Fulham. All right, Simit Road, should be your free kick, or is it Raul Jimenez? Free kick to Fulham, probably about a yard outside the 18-yard. Maybe a yard and a half outside the 18-yard box. Raya setting his wall. Is looking. How many? Looking what? 3, 4? He's telling the wall drift to the right. Carney and Raul Jimenez standing over it for Fulham. It's Raul Jimenez all the this, brother. And this will be a shot on goal. And you have Eberisha Eze laying behind the wall. Here's Jimenez and a shot into the wall. And Carney with a rebound effort. And it's off an Arsenal play. And it's out for a corner kick to Fulham. Skelly is down. But it seems like he's okay. All right, free corner kick coming in for Arsenal, for Fulham. Lukic getting ready to send it in. Still waiting for the play to restart. Referee. All right, finally, here's the corner kick in, and it's cleared out by the Arsenal defenders. Gabriel pretty strong there. Sent back in by Raul Jimenez. Cleared out by Arsenal. Back in. Bases shot. And a shot there by number 21. Is that who's number 21 for Fulham? Is that Carney who came on? Saved by Raya though. Still 3-0 Arsenal, and another a long time to have put on Muniz. Now you're putting them on. Raul Jimenez day is done. As Muniz is on. A long time to tell you to put on Muniz on the BBC field. I know y'all put him on. Rodrigo Muniz is on for Raul Jimenez. He's not going with the two strikers though. I guess 33 years old Raul Jimenez, or 35 years old Raul Jimenez is saying, like, I had enough, bro. Yo, I didn't know Raul Jimenez. Wow. It didn't dawn on me that Raul Jimenez was that old. Oh, he'll be 35 on Cinco de Mayo. On May 5th. Arsenal fans in full voice. Long ball from Raya. Headed back by Anderson. Josh King trying to get on the end of it. Saliba picks it up. Saliba turns it back to Ben White. White sends it all the way back to Raya. Raya sends it long for Arsenal. Looking for Madueke. Gabriel Jesus gets behind, but Leno is quickly out to collect, and he rolls it wide. Wide to Anderson. Fulham looking for something in this football game. Well, they didn't get 6, or they look like they won't get 6, so that's an improvement. I think the sub of Saka, and Arsenal seems to, and Gyökeres seems to have really kind of taken the foot off the pedal here in the second half. Here's the ball all the way back to Leno. Leno playing it around at the back. Finds Anderson. Anderson to Castagna, who took the shot earlier. Castagna sends it long for Muniz. Muniz threw himself to the ground. Free kick to Fulham. Yeah, that's not a fall enough. He miscontrolled the ball and then he threw himself to the ground. Referee said foul. Here's Lukic with it for Fulham. Finds Calvin Bassey. Calvin Bassey to Robinson. Robinson still haven't seen much of Oscar Bob in this game. Josh King with it. Yeah, brother, we're gonna turn the ball back to the other side, Carney. Carney, and the ball is, misplaced pass and it's into the arms of goalkeeper Ray. Yeah. BM says for a 35-year-old, Jimenez still doing well in the Fulham, should keep him. Yeah. We have a shot here from ML Smith Rowe. And he's injured himself. And he's down injured. I can't believe ML Smith Rowe still up on the field. I'm not done back up. So he's down in a bit of treatment. Yeah, man. And I think that head injury years ago when he was at Wolves, when he was at Wolverhampton, that head injury derailed his career. I mean, I not only just the recovery from that head injury, but also the mindset then to actually go back and play again. Because I mean, I suspect that those collisions and going into college for a ball afterwards, it wasn't the same. Max Dowman is getting ready to come on from Arsenal. ML Smith Rowe is getting a bit of treatment. Dowman is coming on for Eberisha Eze. So I like Raul Jimenez a lot. I think he's a very good player. I think he's had a good career, not just for Wolves and Fulham, but he's also for the Mexican national team. All right, Eberisha Eze, go last seat. We should see on Tuesday in the Champions League semifinals. Champions League semifinal. Is it from the start? I don't know. So Dowman is on for Eze. And it seems like we also had a sub for Fulham there. Smith Rowe, I think, is off for Fulham. And number 18. Smith Rowe is off. And Kusi Asare. A long time Smith Rowe come off, I feel. Long time. Kusi Asare is on for Fulham. All right, I mean, in totality, a good day at the office for Arsenal. It's been a good week at the office. Of course, they couldn't take an advantage to the Emirates in the Champions League, but overall, it's been a good week. I mean, they didn't lose the game in the Champions League semi-final. They take the second leg to the Emirates at their home as Arsenal fans are giving ML Smith Rowe a round of applause as he walk around the field. Yeah, no one then would clap him because him not do nothing for Fulham today. Man, Emil Smith Rowe probably upon the thing. Here's Max Dowman dribbling at this Fulham defense. Finds Madweki outright. Max Dowman has three players around him, twists and turns, then turns the ball over. Carney picks his pocket. Carney gives the ball right back, and Arsenal comes away with it. That's the thing with Fulham today. It's like they get the ball and they just give it right back. Corner kick for Fulham, for Arsenal, as the ball is headed out by Anderson. Pretty much that him do all there. Raul story is unique. He was a single digit striker in the Portuguese league and went to the EPL and excel. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think at Wolverhampton, actually was a bit disappointed when he left Wolverhampton. Raul Jimenez, that is. I understand you have to make your money on thing, but thought he was a perfect fit for that team. Here's the corner kick for Arsenal, trying to make it 4-0. And off the post! Bernd Leno is in no man's land. How Bernd Leno still collect money as a goalkeeper? A shopkeeper this. Here is Arsenal again. Scaly, Lewis Scaly with it. Taking too long on the ball. Josh King almost picked his pocket. Trossard with it. And a free kick as Kusari says, you know what, Trossard, you will not dance on me. Kicks him down. Free kick to Arsenal. All right, so on the corner kick, Bernd Leno going to get this ball headed on by Calafieri. The ball hit Bernd Leno in his head and off the crossbar. Bernd Leno, figure sit down. So Fulham needs a lot of pieces in the offseason. Lot of pieces. And one of those pieces, goalkeeper. Here is Trossard. Trying to, and he plays it short. Here comes Fulham. Lukic past the BBC, and he turns the ball back instead of passing the ball forward. And gives Arsenal defense a chance to recover. Robinson finds Kusari. Kusari out wide. Yo, man, make ball game look hardy. Carney with it. Has his pocket picked by Max Dauman. So what was an attacking play for Fulham with an advantage is immediately turned into a defensive play, throw into Arsenal. Yo, the game is probably going to end 3-0, and Fulham should be counting the lucky stars. They only get 3. Throw into Arsenal. Ben White getting ready to restart play. Again, Man City takes on Everton on Monday. Man City travels to Everton on Monday. This victory will give Arsenal a 6-point lead over Man City in the English Premier League. Arsenal would have played 2 more games than Man City. And now Mosquera is getting ready to come on. Defender for Arsenal as Mikel Arteta is taking off Ben White. Ben White day is done. 83rd minute, Mosquera is on. Lot better than last week from the Gunners against Newcastle. Much more up-tempo. From minute 1, Arsenal was very much in the ascendancy, and they proved it with scoring goals. The tempo was very much set from the beginning of the game by Arsenal. Here comes Gabriel Jesus, holding it into the corner flag, and it's poked away by Anderson, and it's out for a throw into Arsenal. Throw into Arsenal near the corner flag. Finds Trossard with a short pass to Calafieri, who ended up with it. Fulham trying to clear lines. Now finds Calvin Bessie. Yo, clear the BBC ball. What Calvin Bessie dribble the ball out for? Why is a centre back dribbling the ball out? Referee didn't call a foul though. Plays on. And now he finds the left back, who then turns the ball back to the holding midfielder who dropped to cover the space vacated by the centre back. Yo, Fulham a dumpy bad side, you know. Here is Oscar Bob outright. Oscar Bob finds King. King into Arsenal's box. And it's cleared out by Arsenal. Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Oscar Bob. I mean, Oscar Bob, former Man City player, was quite promising at Man City. When he got some minutes, picked up a nasty injury. Here's Max Dauman. We'll get back to that point. Max Dauman driving at Fulham's defense. Cuts inside. Max Dauman. Shot! He should have passed it. Ooh, that drag back around Kuseri. Yeah, Kuseri, take beating under your cloth. Wow. Watch out. Kuseri holding on for dear life, and Max Dauman says, Kuseri, get away from me. Drags it back around them, pushes the shot wide looking for the lower left corner. Could have passed it to Madueke, who was wide open. Back to the Oscar Bob situation. Oscar Bob at Man City. Promising young player, came to the Man City youth system. Did well on tour, the preseason tour. Also did well in early parts of the Premier League season. Picked up an injury a few seasons ago. And has never been the same, you know. Has never been the same. You'll see Oscar Bob at the World Cup running out for Norway. Oscar Bob, Martin Odegaard, and Erling Haaland on the Norway. Here's Zubimendi. Trossard. So yeah, for Oscar Bob, it's like you left a winning side. Your agent forget beaten with bell. You left a winning side, go on a duppy bot side that is just. But the sad thing about it, he didn't start this game. These are games you want him to start in, so he can show if he can rekindle some of that, his best performing years. Calvin Bessie just kicks it long out wide to Castagna. Anderson with a heavy touch. Lukic, and Lukic. Yo, what kind of ball is Lukic? Anderson. Robinson with it now for Fulham. Finds Kuseri out wide. Madueke with him, and Kuseri didn't cross the ball. Now he turns it all the way back to Lukic. Lukic looking for the run of Oscar Bob, and it's out for a goal kick. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to tell a friend about the content. And by smashing the like button is a way to also get the content out to new viewers and subscribers. So please subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs button, you know. I don't know, thumb button or whatever. Or like button or whatever they want to call it. Goal kick to Arsenal. I think Lewis Kelly, you know, he played with himself, but I don't think he was real tested. I'm not gonna throw Lewis Kelly in against Atletico Madrid. No, but he did a serviceable job in that midfield in this game. And again, you rest Martin Odegaard. You got Declan Rice off the park early. You got Eberisha Eze off the park early. You got also Zubimendi some valuable minutes on the bench to rest. You also got Gyökeres off the park early. So you couldn't ask for anything better other than maybe 3 or 4 more goals from Arsenal. But the most important thing is that they're winning the game, and they're winning it quite comfortably. And they're coming out of this game with some goals. And also they're coming out of the game without any injuries. Marcus Silva is like Marcus Silva over there just yeah. Marcus Silva has an expression like, yo, referee, please just blow it up. I could go my way out, yeah, man. Last year of a contract for Marcus Silva. I think he's a decent coach. You know, and life rough sometimes, because Marcus Silva was one of those really highly regarded coaches, and he took that job at Everton. Remember, he was Marcus Silva was one of the highly regarded coach in this thing, and he took that job at Fulham, at Everton, and then it just went from bad to worse, and I mean, he has resurrected his career since that Everton debacle. Yo, get up, youth! That is not a penalty. Fulham player looking for a penalty. So remains to be seen where Marcus Silva ends up, if he will stay at Fulham. I think he's a good coach. But sometimes in life, it's not. Sometimes you need to stay at your location a little bit longer. He was at Watford. He did one season at Watford and had Watford playing quite well. And then the Everton job, they got him out of that contract. And it just didn't work out. Almost time, family. 90th minute of the game. Let's see how many minutes of added time. Throw into 4 minutes of added time. Throw into Fulham. There's a free kick to Fulham. Burn Leno over to take it. Sends it long. Cleared out by Arsenal. Max Dorman. You know, all right. So Oscar Bob has been on the field how long now? And and I haven't seen much from him. And Max Dorman on the field, and he's gotten the ball and he's driven. I mean, one thing that's very apparent, that's very clear about Max Dorman. He is willing to take on anybody, anytime, anywhere, and he's not shy of that. And that is what you need from a player who's young, playing the wing position. It seems like he's going in down the middle here, but he's willing to take on anyone, and that's good, you know. But of course, you know, probably should make a few more passes there. But I'm looking at Oscar Bob, who hasn't really got a foothold in this game. You know, here is Josh King breaking through for Fulham. 3 and 4, 4 and 3 for Fulham, and somehow Fulham can't even get a shot on target, and it's cut out by Mosquera. The cut back by Josh King, and Arsenal comes away with it. 4 on 2, and still couldn't get, or 4 on 3, and still can't get a shot off. Come on, Lewis Scaly with it. Lewis Scaly, that's so one of the things that is apparent about Lewis Scaly in this midfield. He's not aware around who. He's not aware of the players around him, like how close the players are. Here's Leandro Trossard going at Castagna. Trossard sends it in, and it's over the head of Dauman. Dauman, ball is recovered by Mosquera. Dauman with it. Has Anton and Robinson for company. He's holding off Robinson quite well. Now finds Lewis Scaly. Lewis Scaly now looking to find Gabriel Jesus. And Jesus is offside, and he's pushed down Kuseri. Or he pushed down Calvin Bassey. Bassey seems to be in a bit of pain there. Yeah, so back to Lewis Scaly in this midfield. Yep, definitely offside. Yeah, I mean, Lewis Scaly, you know, must recognize, as just like any midfielder, you must recognize who is around you, how close the player is to you when you are receiving the ball. This is why midfielders always check their shoulders to make sure that they have enough time to make a decision? How much time do they have with the ball? And I think that is something that's very apparent with Lewis Scaly. He needs to learn that real quickly if he's gonna play in midfield, because there are times that he's been holding on to the ball and then he turns it over, and there are times when he returns the ball to the center back when he has no pressure. And so, as a midfielder, when the center back plays the ball to you, you drop it, you check your shoulder, turn, and move the team upfield rather than sending the ball back to the center back. There's no pressure on you. So those are things that he has to learn if he's gonna play in that midfield position. Free kick to Arsenal, and Gabriel jogging in space, now send the ball along. What Gabriel do? And then he kicks it out for a goal kick. Yeah, referee, blow off this rubbish. Blow it off. And we're at time. Well done, Arsenal. All over. 3-0. Arsenal now goes to 76 points from 35 games played. Man City remain on 70 points from 33 games. Goal difference for Arsenal is plus 41. Goal difference for Man City is plus 37. Of course, you're leading by a superior goal difference because you play 2 games more. I mean, we'll We look at goal difference when you get to the number of games played. Man City to the equal number of games played. Man City will play Everton on Monday. Man City will travel to Everton. All right. Hopefully everyone again. This is BCN Sports watch along of English Premier League game. Arsenal versus Fulham. As expected Arsenal to win this game coming into the watch along. Fulham has been piss poor at this venue. But one of the important questions coming into this game was that Arsenal played a midweek game in the Champions League semi-final against Atletico Madrid. Would those legs hold up against a Fulham team that last played last weekend? And I think this is why you have depth. This is why you have a deep team. You know, I think the Arsenal legs held up fine, and not only held up fine, they were emphatic in victory. So job first objective, they won, and they won as in Arsenal, they won emphatically 3-0. Scored a few goals. Players came off healthy. You were able to rest some players such as Saka. Saka scored and set up a goal. So he was subbed off at halftime. Bakary Saka, that is. Bukayo Saka, that is, not Bakary. Bukayo Saka. So he was able to rest at halftime. Gyökeres scored 2 goals, and he was also able to get some minutes on the bench and was subbed off late in the game. So Martin Odegaard didn't play, so you didn't need a Martin Odegaard service. Declan Rice, another integral part of what Arsenal wants to do, was able to get some minutes on the bench after starting this game. And so I think from an Arsenal perspective, job done. Impressive in all areas. Impressive in all areas. They won the game comfortably. They scored 3 goals. You couldn't ask for more. Maybe you could ask for 5 or 6, and that's how dominant Arsenal was in this football game. So maybe you could ask for more goals, but that's probably getting a little bit too picky. The bottom line is that they scored 3 goals and they won the game comfortably, and they won the game while allowing some of their players, some of their most important players, the more important players, to get a rest ahead of the second leg against Atletico Madrid. So kudos to Arsenal. Job done. Now it's over to you, Man City, against Everton on Monday. See if you can close the gap to 3 points. Again, traveling to Everton is not an easy task. Let's see what Man City will do. I mean, at the end of the day, I always say who go win it, you can't blame whosoever win it. I mean, you cannot badmine anyone who goes out and win it within the rules of the game. And I think Arsenal is doing what they need to do to try and win this Premier League title. First Premier League title in over 22 years. So, as for Fulham, Shaja, where to begin? I mean, as for Fulham, you got Butter Bros here, brother. So you go. You got Butter Bros. Nothing more to say. I mean, you quickly move on from this game as quickly as possible. You quickly move on from this game. I think Coach Marcus Silva is probably worried maybe about players, mentally start drifting towards, vacation. It's at the end of the season. Fulham coming into the game was 3 points out of 6th place. So they were sitting in 10th. So if they were able to get 3 points or a point out of this game, they could have leapfrogged into that Europa League spot or that Conference League spot. But clearly this Fulham team is not ready for that sort of ask. And they don't have the people. Some of their big players did not do well today. Samuel Chukwueze. Man, I don't know how Samuel Chukwueze come to this. He's so inconsistent. This is a player who, I watch at Villarreal, who was with Todo Akambi at Villarreal. I mean, they were so high-flying players. And look at Samuel Chukwueze now. It's just he went to AC Milan, nothing doing. And here he's at Fulham. He had like a few bright moments in his brief Fulham tenure so far. But you need better from Samuel Chukwueze. I mean, it's just inconsistent. Fulham fans, I want to tell you this and I want to tell you this right now. ML Smith Rowe is not it, brother. He's not going to take you guys further up the pecking order in terms of play. ML Smith Rowe in that 10 position. No. It's not good enough. Not good enough. I can see why Arsenal got rid of him. And actually the funny thing about Samuel Chukwueze, he's still on loan. He's on loan. This is a loan move from AC Milan. So Fulham, BM said Fulham still has Europe to play for. Yeah, they didn't play for it today. Yeah, Fulham not going to Europe, Bridget. The money not going to Europe. Fulham not going to any Europe, BM. Go do what? Conference League or whatever. Fulham travels to Bournemouth on May 9th. Then they travel to now Fulham hosts Bournemouth on May 9th. Then they travel to Wolves on May 17th, and they host Newcastle on May 24th. Fulham are bug side this. Europe play for what? What Europe? What Europe, BM? So the teams looking at this English Premier League standing, Arsenal 76 points leads the table. Man City on 70 points in the second position. Man United on 61 points in third. Liverpool fourth, 58 points. Aston Villa fifth, also on 58 points. Liverpool has a superior goal difference. Brentford 51 points in sixth. Brighton, 7th position on 50 points. Bournemouth, 49 points in 8th. Chelsea, 9th. Chelsea on 48 points in 9th. And Fulham in 10th position on 48 points. Fulham now going on BBC Europe, right? Yo. Marco Silva and Fulham. I just say about that. I mean, there's nothing. Of course, they don't have to worry about any Champions League spot. Fulham now gonna win. I think Fulham players are kind of like, yeah, brother. This is it. This is a wrap for Fulham. So I don't expect Fulham to win many more games. After 3 games remaining for the season, Bournemouth, Wolves, and Newcastle. Fulham might get a point or two. The Wolf game is at Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton right now is probably just, they've already been relegated. So they're probably just trying to give their fans something to celebrate, as I think that might be their last home game of the season. Wolverhampton, that is. So if that's their last home game of the season, Fulham might be... yeah. That game against Fulham on May 17 is their Wolverhampton last home game of the season. And I highlight that game because out of Fulham's remaining 3 games, that might be the closest thing to get any points out of, for Fulham. All right, that's it for me, family. Again, big up to those who are on the live. Tottenham versus Villa tomorrow is must-see TV. We're doing a watch-along tomorrow. Man United versus Liverpool. Man United versus Liverpool. Watch-along tomorrow. Also, Aston Villa versus Tottenham at 2 p.m. So this is at Villa Park. So West Ham suffered a defeat today. And I don't know, BM, because with today's defeat by West Ham and the inconsistencies that we have seen from Aston Villa, I wouldn't, Tottenham last week won a game, and I think that kind of elevated the team's mentality, elevated their belief. You know, I'm picking Tottenham to go to Villa, Aston Villa, and get a point. I get something out of this game. You know. I wonder if Unai will give Big Baller Bailey a game. We have to wonder if Bailey a run. Wonder if Bailey perform well in training this week. Whatever is happening is that Aston Villa has been poor these last few games. Has been poor these last few games. It's just looking at their running. Aston Villa suffered a defeat against Fulham last weekend. So let's go to our Aston Villa last few games. Nottingham Forest defeated them 1-0 in the semi-final of the Europa League on Thursday. Fulham defeated Aston Villa last weekend 1-0. On April 19, Aston Villa defeated Sunderland 4-3 in the Premier League. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham takes something from that game tomorrow against Aston Villa. I wouldn't be surprised. That game is at 2 p.m. Tomorrow. All right, that's it for me. That's it. Hopefully you have a wonderful remaining part of your Saturday. Again, watch along at 10:30 a.m. Man United versus Liverpool. Big game. Big game. Big game tomorrow. Big game tomorrow. Man United versus Liverpool tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Let me get this up for a second. Give me 1 minute here. So Man United versus Liverpool tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. We'll kick you off about maybe 10:20 thereabout. The other EPL games on the card tomorrow: Aston Villa versus Tottenham at 2 p.m. On Monday, other EPL game tomorrow is also Crystal Palace will face Bournemouth at 9 a.m. On Monday, Chelsea will host Forest at 10 a.m. and at 3 p.m. Man City will travel to Everton. That rounds out the weekend's EPL action. All right, so remember tomorrow, watch along Man United versus Liverpool, 10:20 a.m. kickoff. Ball Chat weekly, 5 p.m. tomorrow. A lot to discuss as we recap the week that was in the world of football. So, Jamaican Premier League playoff running, Jamaica Women's Premier League, and other football news. La Liga action, Scudetto action. A lot to unpack tomorrow, along with any sort of FIFA World Cup news coming out of FIFA. All right, that's it, family. Hopefully, you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Congrats, Arsenal. 3-0 victors